Kekuli Blaisdell.
Can we see the next slide, please? You may recognize some of these people here. And this is on Sovereign Sunday, January 17th. Ever since 1990, well, we've been gathering there since 1980. So every January 17th on the Sunday closest to that date, we gather at Iolani Palace to protest U.S. armed invasion, the overthrow of our queen. And some of you recognize Kumuhula here, just as we have our kumu right here. And we see some banners up there. Hey, Kanaka, Mauliao, I am Kanaka. And decolonize, Kapai Aina. Kapai Aina is our ancestors' name for our homeland here. And we similarly gather every year, July 30th, at Thomas Square. How many of you know about Thomas Square in Honolulu? Who was Admiral Thomas? Well, he was a British admiral who was sent to undo the work of Lord George Paulet in 1843, who similarly occupied our country and called upon Kamehameha III, Kauai Keolani, to yield. But Kamehameha III protested, and Admiral Thomas came in July of that year. So from February to July of 1843, our homeland was similarly occupied by a foreign power, this time Great Britain. But Admiral Thomas, on orders from London, pulled down, or ordered the Union Jack pulled down, and Hawaiian Kingdom flag hoisted, saluted Kamehameha III, who went over to Kauai Church and uttered the words, Umo ke'ea, oka aina I kopono. The life, sovereignty of the land is preserved in rightness, in pono. And so this is a regular part of our movement every year. Let's move on, please. Just quickly go through these. Kanaka means human being. Maoli means true. This is our ancestral name for ourselves and our people, but became to be a term of derision when I was a youngster. Lazy Kanaka, drunk Kanaka, dirty Kanaka. So my tutu wouldn't let us use the term, but now we revived the term. And it's the same word that the Maori use in their home, Aotearoa, Tangata Maori. And the Tahitians use in their homeland, Ta'ata Maohi, Tangata Maori, Ta'ata Maori, Ta'ata Maohi, same word, same language, same people, same nation, spread over the largest ocean, and therefore the largest nation in the world. So we have much to be proud of. And Captain Cook realized this when he first came in 1778, because he had a translator, or interpreter, I'm sorry, from Rangitea, who talked with the Maori and talked with our ancestors here. So he himself realized that these savages had been able to traverse this great ocean without the modern instruments that he had. So this is reason for pride in our people, and that we belong to the Pacific. But we're taught to turn our backs on Kamoananui, the ocean, and to face only the United States. So it's time we turned our backs to the United States and face the other people in our nation. Can we move on, please? Quickly. This shows the deep population of our ancestors beginning in 1778 with the arrival of Captain Cook, mainly from introduced infectious epidemics reaching a nadir around 1890 and 1893 that John Osorio has just told us. See there in the middle of the chart. And then the increase in the population since then, over 1 million, but we're outnumbered. We're less than 20% of the people in our homeland now. So it's very different when we are a minority. Can we look at the next slide, please? And here's the reference that John Osorio just referred to. Our Queen on January 17th, 1893, not really surrendering, but yielding her authority temporarily, not to the local rebels, the provisional government, but to the United States, and to the United States would reinstate her as the constitutional sovereign of the Hawaiian Islands. And as I pointed out, the United States has officially apologized, confessed for that crime, but has yet to confess for the other two major crimes. Next slide shows the martial state of the provisional government and the Republic of Hawaii that followed, and some of the key dates up there, which we will come back to. Next slide shows statehood in the newspapers at that time, and the mockery and the mimicry of our elite chief. Can you see Kamehameha, the great, yielding to the United States and to a governor? And who was the governor at that time? We saw him in the previous film. Governor Quinn, William Quinn. Where did he come from? Kansas, was it? Or was it Missouri? St. Louis, Missouri. So he was a settler. Because we're outnumbered, he was voted governor of the state. Can we move on, please? And this is the tribunal which Arnie has already showed us about in the opening slides. Can we move on? And this shows the apology resolution. Some important words up there. Health and well-being of Native Hawaiians, intrinsically tied to deep feeling and attachment to the land. Long-range economic and social changes have devastating to the health and well-being of Native Hawaiians. And then comes these key words regarding the 1893 overthrow, and that is the U.S. minister conspired, armed forces invaded, violation of treaties, international law, and then some key words also, suppression of Native Hawaiian inherent sovereignty and deprivation of the rights to self-determination, which Julian will amplify. I think this is the last slide, isn't it? Next one. Oh, this is just some more dates, but it's too much to go into right now. We may come into it later. Is this the last slide? Should be, I think so. Isn't it? Yeah. That's it. So I can turn this, give this over to